Hey everyone, Cholera bringing you set 7 of KTF versus SKT1. And herein lies the weakness of KTF. For those of you who don't know, KTF has 2 players and a bunch of underwear cleaners. That is right, I am insulting KTF. They have Luxury and they have Flash, and then they have a whole lot of people like Firefist, who is playing this game. 815 is okay, but then you have for the one 815 you have Lucifer, Firefist, and Tempest, and that's it. Those are the only ranked players who have ELO scores, even on their team. And oh yeah, Barracks and Hiri, yeah, 2 household names there. Yeah, so I mean, other than Flash and Luxury, they have 815. That's their other, like, he's B level. And Firefist is my new Hyuk. Firefist on the left there. I'm so disappointed that this epic series is, with magnificent performances from Flash, Luxury, and 815, is unfortunately going to end most likely with just a whimper here from 815. I'm sorry, from Firefist as he gets demolished by Fantasy. And things might prove me wrong, but if you watch some of his recent Terran games, you will find that Firefist actually has the worst Muto Micro that you will have ever seen. Literally, nowadays we're so used to either good Muto Micro or very good Muto Micro that we haven't seen mediocre Muto Micro ever, unless you watch Firefist. Watch Firefist versus Hwasun that I casted with Rise and Vile Attack, and you will see some horrendous Muto Micro. Literally, it doesn't do anything. These goggles do nothing. This doesn't make me breakfast, it just shoots me. Literally, that is what his mutas do. They don't make him breakfast, they just shoot him. It's just so terrible. It's just so terrible. I mean, he messes up, first off, in deciding where to attack. He doesn't attack Hwasun's main when Hwasun's very weak. Decides to go and attack the contain in front of him. Then that becomes too strong for him to attack. And then he goes back to Hwasun's main when Hwasun's prepared. And then he goes back to the contain. And every time he does it, he takes some damage, and he does Bub Kiss. That's it. He does nothing. And before, if you guys recall, he got knocked out of the MSO Survivor Tournament against 4GG, losing quite badly against him because of his Muta Micro. And he also insists on 2-hatch mutas. That's why I don't understand. I mean, if you can't do mutas, why are you doing 2-hatch mutas? We'll see if he makes that mistake in this game against Fantasy. This is Harmony, by the way. That's the one thing that Firefist has going for him, is that this map is very Zerg favored. It's not many Terrans have been able to crack it, to be absolutely honest. We've seen the likes of Flash lose on this map. We've seen Jadon going. We've seen. The only player who has been managed to crack is Firebat Hero. Was what I was going to say. He managed to crack the best Zerg out there with an excellent Medic Marine Battlecruiser combo. But otherwise we've seen players like Flash getting demolished on this map quite frequently. There is Bunky bowing down to what? Is he bowing down to the KTF mascot? Because, man, you can't be that scared of a guy who's bald and wears a baseball cap to cover it, or a hoodie, or whatever that is. Yeah, there he is. He's doing a little dance. That is where Lucifer is, by the way. What is he doing? Seriously, I actually think the SKT1 mascot has been having like a heart attack for the last half an hour, and everyone thinks it's just part of the show. But I actually think he has had a heart attack. What is Fantasy doing, meanwhile? Is that a 14 command center from Fantasy again? Oh my god, Fantasy is insane, and he gets the drone. And Firefist gets a nice shake of his head because he realizes he's screwed. He went 12-hatch against Fantasy's 14cc. And Fantasy is going to roll over him this game, basically. Fantasy getting 2 Raxes also. Man, Fantasy is just killer with these 14 command centers. I guess he's just read Firefist's book. He knows Firefist is that kind of macro modern Zerg who goes for 12 hatches every time against Terran. Isn't creative enough to go for throwing in like, an overpull or a 9-pull in there, like Jadong does. Man, this is going to be an uphill battle here for Firefist. And this is why I'm disappointed. I mean, if they had one more player, the Winners League would be easier for KTF by miles. Because with only 2 real players, I mean, Firefist actually, 815 actually managed to do something. But if your 2 players don't do it, then you're screwed. You're going to just lose. There's nothing else you can do. And there's Boxer and Isla Movie, of course, the old guard of Terran, looking on. pretty early gas there also from Fantasy, so his tech is going to be fine. His timing is going to be great. He is just going to be really ahead in this game. And Firefist has gone for 3 hatches, so at least he's not going 2 hatch mutas. So one thing I'm happy about. Because, honestly, I am a KTF fan, and Firefist is no way to end a series that began with Luxury and Flash, you know, playing so well. Anyway, enough of me ranting about why KTF doesn't have a deep talent pool. I'll rant a little bit about SKT1. SKT1 has a ridiculously deep talent pool, and yet they don't win every game they play, because they don't have any Zergs. That is right, they have Hyuk. Hyuk is sent up to play for them because they don't have Zergs. That is the problem with SKT1. They have a ridiculously deep talent pool. I mean, look at the players they have. They have Bisu, Fantasy, and Best. That is just ridiculously imba. And then they have the old guard, I Love Blue V, who's actually been kicking ass, and Boxer, who's there to, you know, inspire people now that he's back. You know, they just think about Bisu, Best, and Fantasy. That should be split up into 2 teams, honestly. Anyway, bunch of Marines coming down for Fantasy. Fantasy going to put on some early pressure. Looks like he's going to back off, actually. Probably a good idea, actually, to wait for some Academy units. And very standard opening here from Firefist, which is okay if the Terran does a relatively slower expansion, but not okay in this situation. You know, I mean, not that 2 Attributos would have worked for him, because that never has worked for him, but I don't know. Maybe Lurkers, maybe a Hiva build, maybe. That would be amazing to watch, but I don't think Firefist is creative enough. Oh! Firefist might be able to catch those medics, though! That might make a small difference! Oh, but he fails. Completely fails. And Fantasy, with those 2 Firebats, is going to be able to secure his front very easily also. And also, he's going to have to defend against 2 fronts, Firefist is, because Harmony is that map with 2 holes in your natural expansion. And one of the Sun Colonies has taken some damage also from, I don't even know what has given it damage. Wow. That is just strange. Alright, so, Fantasy rushing in there, going to take down that Sunken Colony. Good timing there, but no, is it good enough? No, it's not good enough timing. Firefist coming in with some Zerglings there just in the nick of time. Doesn't manage to take out the whole force, but Firefist might be able to, might lose a couple of drones. Fantasy might be able to, So Firefist, the problem with him, he's got Firebats and they have no range. I mean, they're going to kill a huge number of Zerglings before they can get killed. That girl is really hot. That is most likely not the girlfriend of either Fantasy or Firefist. That's probably Bisu's girlfriend, the only one who's deserving of that good-looking of a girl. Those Firebats should be burning some things right now. Yeah, oh, they're